What's up, traders? Zach here from the Trading Network. Hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. It is Saturday, April 24th, and I'm going to be going over my trade plan from yesterday, Friday, April 23rd, for the ES and the NQ futures markets. So let us dive right in here to the profile, and we will get cracking on these key levels for ES first and foremost, starting with the prior range high. Prior range high was this 41.71.75 level. Second level to the downside I was looking at was 41.49. That was the prior initial balance low, which also ended up being yesterday's initial balance high. Third level I was looking at was the overnight high all the way down here. We got a really, really tight overnight range, 14 points. If you even look at the chart on, the candlestick chart, like on a 377 tick or a 1,000 tick, you can see just how choppy it really was. I'll actually pull this up for you guys. One sec. There we go. So this right here was basically the overnight session. Here's London Open, right? This is basically like midnight my time. And then here's New York. So for the entirety of the session, we were basically in a range like this, the overnight session, right? So this was basically the overnight session. Not a lot of activity at all. You are very, very rarely going to see an overnight profile that is this small. And I'll just go over here to my ES profile, and you guys can see this right here as well, just kind of comparing it on the right side. And aside from that, the fourth key level that I was interested in was the prior value area low. You can see that the prior value area low is right down here at this 41.30.75 level. And last but not least, I was looking at the prior range low at 41.15.25 down here. So flipping over to NQ, key levels that I was interested in first and foremost, just like ES, the prior range high, 13.944. Second level was the POC from the April 21st session at 13.849. You can see 13.849, that's this level right here. I was interested in price moving down into this level if we could not hold these higher levels, which we will get into shortly. And the next level below that, I was looking at the overnight high, again, very similar to ES. And you can see this right here at 13.791. Prior value low was next on the list, and that also coincided with the overnight point of control right around here, 13.765, 13.766. So if I zoom in here, you guys can see this is the point of control right here. And for those of you guys who are new to the profile, new to the channel, first and foremost, welcome. And I want to point out that you guys can pick out or find the point of control without having it automatically plotted for you by looking at the TPO side and seeing where the furthest TPO comes out to, or the furthest point of the TPO, I should say. So you can see that A period, if I zoom in even more here, see how this A period, this row right here, it comes out the furthest, right? That means that the most time was spent there in the entire session, right? So each one of these letters is essentially equating for a 30-minute period of time, right? So the A period is 30 minutes before the session starts, right? It is 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. my time. B period is 7:30 to 8, etc. So if you see a row or the furthest row out, that is the point of control. That means that price spent the most time there, and that is likely a very, very important level of reaction. And furthermore, you can see that in many instances, the volume, the VPOC, the volume point of control right here also lines up or is very, very close proximity to that point of control. And a lot of times you can use those levels together as sort of a zone of interest. Okay, so just wanted to point that out to you guys as well. And getting into these last levels here that I was looking at, you can see that that last level was the prior range low, 13.701, and we did not quite get down there in Friday's regular trading hour session. So let's get into my pre-market analysis a little bit, and we will see what my thoughts were. Alrighty, so switching back over to the trade plan a little bit, we will go through my analysis and then dig back into the profile. So the overnight inventory was long on both ES and NQ. ES and NQ were both looking to open inside of yesterday's range and value area. Now, for those of you guys familiar, you will know that opening within range and value tells us that there is a higher probability of ranging price action until our brackets or our major levels of support and resistance, one of them breaks. Okay, so if we zoom in here, we will go find O period, and O period signifies the open of the profile. So you can see we opened way down here, 13,776. But that was indeed within the prior session's range, which is right here. The range high and the range low are these white levels, and the value area are these blue levels. So you can see the value area is from 13,941 down to 13,765, and we opened up right here, which is, of course, inside the range and value area. So going over to ES, I'll show you guys the same example here. You can see that we opened down here, right around 41.33-ish, we'll call it. And just like the previous chart we were looking at, you can see that this is yesterday's range. This is yesterday's value area, right? 41.30 to, I'm sorry, this is Thursday's range and value. Value area is 41.30 up to 41.68, and we indeed opened inside of range and value. We did open at the bottom, and we got a single print buying tail, which tells us that there was very strong buying pressure from other time frame players, and that these larger players were not interested in pushing price down or selling below yesterday's value area. That is a bullish sign. And you can see that the value area moved up. This was where value was on Thursday, and this is where value ended up on Friday. All right, so just to reiterate here, overnight inventory was long, right? So you can see I have my levels pulled back up. You can see settlement prices here, and the majority of the overnight profile is above settlement. Same thing on ES. You can see that settlement is right down here, also coinciding with the overnight low, and the overnight profile is entirely above settlement price, right? So keep in mind that the higher probability play when overnight inventory is long is for New York to actually fade that to the downside, but there are stipulations. You know, we still want to look at the line in the sand. We want to look at where we're opening in relation to the previous profile and use all of this information to our advantage. We can't just say, okay, overnight inventory is long, so I'm going to short. No, you want to look at the key levels. You want to say, okay, well, if we break this level to the downside, then the probability is already on my side to go short, so that's going to reinforce the probability, and that's going to be my signal to go short. There's always two sides, okay? Even though we have high probability plays or high probability setups or strategies based on the profile information, there's always a possibility that the lower probability play happens, and we have to be prepared for that. And furthermore, we have to be ready to make money on both sides, even if we've got to take the lower probability play that shows itself, you know, at the beginning of the day. So today I was looking for, well, actually, let me go back here. Let me reiterate real quick, just to say that this meant that there has not been a change in sentiment from the last session, and this is typically when we look for ranging price action and wait for directional conviction to develop until one side breaks. So with that said, today I was looking at the overnight point of control on NQ at 13,768. You can see that was right down here. And I was looking at the prior value low on ES at 41.30. And you can see that was right here. And very, very nicely enough, those levels ended up being our lows for the day. It was pretty cool to see those open drives or open test drives, whatever you want to call it. You can be very, very precise and say, since we didn't open in straight drive, it's not technically an open drive. It is an open. It is a test of these levels. You can see that's the value area low from the overnight session and the prior regular trading hour session. And then we drove up. So I would call it an open test drive just for, you know, accuracy purposes. If it's an open drive, in my opinion, there's no test down here. There's no movement below open price. We open and we drive up and we see no test below the open price. So we look at NQ and you can see that on NQ, very cool comparison here. We got the open drive, right? You can see O period, we did not move below in test and we drove instantly upon open. So I will move over to the chart just to show you guys what the open drive looks like on a regular candlestick chart. All right, so back to the candlestick chart here. I have NQ up, and you can see, of course, that open drive. We open here and we drive straight up. And if you can see here, this is New York open. So where this white box is, this is our opening range tune indicator. It's basically based off an old floor strategy, which I talk about obviously in the indicator package videos. But for this example, this is basically just signifying where New York open is. So you can see price opened up here, 13,777-ish, and then we drove. And we never came back down and tested below our opening price. That, my friends, by definition, is an open drive. That is the strongest directional conviction profile type that exists when the market opens up and buyers come in instantly, and we never get downside pressure below the opening price. Very, very strong directional conviction. And you can see we are pretty much able to take op zone plays the entire day. Boom, boom. It's not going to work every time, but it works until it doesn't. And when we're trending, it's a very, very high probability play. You can see all these tests of the op zone. I don't usually talk about my strategies too much in these public videos, so you guys are getting a little bit of extra juice today. But you can see how well it works. You know, you get the open drive, you can say, all right, we have strong directional conviction. I'm going to play my trending strategy until it stops trending. You can see here, you know, we got that pushed back down, and this is where the day ended. So just wanted to give you guys that example, and you know, this is how you can use the profile instantly off the open to say, okay, we got the open drive, we're in an uptrend, I'm using my trending strategy until the trend breaks. Period. That's it. You have a plan, you use that plan, you follow the recipe until something changes, and it's a very simple way to make money if you can interpret the market information properly. So as I said, I was looking at those levels as the line in the sand levels, and if we could not move and hold above those levels on open, I was looking for a move back down into the overnight lows and the range lows from Thursday's session, which is down toward that 13.7 level and the 41.15 level on ES. So let's move down into the scenarios. Just to reiterate, upon open, I was looking at 41.30 and 13.768 as my line in the sand levels. As we just discussed, 41.30 held like a rock as support for the day, and as did 13.765, 13.766 overnight POC prior value low level. So when you see that, you know, it kind of just, it makes you feel good because it reinforces your confidence in your edge. When I see that, I know that things are going according to plan. I'm interpreting the profile information properly, and you know, I am trading my edge when it comes down to it. So just like I said, if we could hold those levels, I was looking for that upside directional conviction to develop, which we got. And if we didn't, I was looking for a move back into the lows. So moving into the targets, first and foremost for ES, I will flip back over to the ES profile. I will hide my levels so things are a little bit more clear, and we will dig into the targets. So as you guys know, the downside targets are going to be short and sweet because we didn't even move below the line in the sand. So on the upside, my first target was 41.35. That was the overnight POC right here from the Thursday and Friday Globex. Next level to the upside was 41.41, keeping it simple. That was the overnight high. Third level was 41.49. That was the initial balance low from Thursday. 41.53 was the next level. That was the overnight low from the 21st into 22nd Globex session. And last but not least, of course, the last upside target that we got hit was 41.60. And 41.60 was the overnight point of control of that same 21st into 22nd Globex session. And you can see we got a push above 41.67, which was a very important level. And we got that push to new highs once again. So ES is indeed looking long and strong. And as you guys can see, we got that single print buying tail. No downside targets were hit. We didn't move below that line in the same level at all. And it was a bullish day of op zone trades. Very, very simple trading if, once again, you can interpret that information properly. Say, okay, we're trending. Time to use my trending strategy, and I'm going to do that until the market tells me otherwise. So on to NQ here. Very, very similar. It's going to be short and sweet because we only had upside targets hit. So starting with the line in the sand here, you can see that 13.768, 765 level. This was the major area that I was looking at, okay? And we opened up and we drove instantly. So first upside target hit was 13.791. Got a nice move up into the overnight high there. Second upside target was 13.821, a little bit of a ways above there. Nice 30-point move or so. And that was the initial balance high from the 21st regular trading hour session. Now, 13.849 was the point of control from that same regular trading hour session on April 21st. And you can see it also coincided with that initial balance low from the previous session at 13.851.25. So lots of good confluence there. And that ended up being, you can see, I mean, how these profile levels line up. That was the initial balance low from Thursday and the initial balance high and the value area high basically from Friday. So the next upside target that we got hit after 13,849 was 13,877. And you can see lots of great confluence right there as well. That was the value area high from the 21st and the overnight low from the 21st into the 22nd Globex session. And last but not least, we got that 13,909 level hit, which was the point of control from Thursday. So we had a lot of upside movement. We had beautiful op zone opportunities, no pun intended. But, you know, I love when the market gives us information. These are the days where trades really fall into your lap. It's very, very simple. If, again, I know I'm probably sound like a broken record at this point, but I just want to drive home the idea that if you can understand what these profile types mean, then you can instantly have an idea of what the higher probability play is. Open drive, very strong trending conviction, right? So we're using our trending moves, and you know, I traded for maybe an hour or two and was able to lock in excellent profit with very little risk, because the opportunity zone allows us to manage our risk very easily, you know, at the bottom or below the 50 EMA. So with that said, it was a really nice uptrending day. We had 5 out of 5 upside targets hit on NQ, and we had, let's see, how many upside targets did we have hit on ES? We had 5 out of 5 as well. So bulls were in control. It was a day to trade the opportunity zone. If you guys want to learn more about the opportunity zone, please feel free to check out the links in the description below. I go over the opportunity zone in great detail in our Fundamentals of Futures Trading course, and you can also purchase access to the op zone indicator, which makes it a little bit easier as well. So all in all, a really nice uptrending day. I love trending days, most people do, and you know, we didn't really have to think too hard about it and just ride the trend, allow the momentum to carry us throughout the session. So with all that said, I want to thank you guys very much for taking the time to watch these videos. If you do dig what you see, please feel free to like and subscribe down below and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you want to learn more about the opportunity zone or any of the strategies that I use, please feel free to check out the links in the description below, where you can first and foremost find a link to our free Facebook group, where I release these trade plans on a daily basis, Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You can also find information on our website down below at thetradingnetwork.io, where you can purchase one-on-one mentorship with me. You can also get access to the Trading Network Proprietary Indicator package, which you've seen pretty extensively in this video. You can also get access to the Trading Network private Discord, where you can watch me trade live daily from 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. And I also want to make a point to let you guys know that the live stream is 2 ways. So it's in Discord, and anybody can turn on their mic and ask questions while I'm trading in real time. So it's a really valuable experience to be trading live with a bunch of traders in real time and being able to talk out setups, ask questions, and really stay analytically focused and out of your emotions. So with that said, last but not least, you guys can also purchase access to the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course, which I have talked about a little bit. It's a comprehensive course on trading futures that will provide multiple strategies for varying market conditions, i.e. trending versus ranging. If you guys have any questions, as always, please feel free to reach out anytime. Again, I appreciate you immensely, and I will see you in the next video.